Hey guys, Brett here, and first I want to welcome you to this training. In this training, we are going to talk about how to rank in the search engines. And more specifically, we're going to talk about how to rank in Google. This entire training is going to focus on Google, on ranking in Google and giving what Google wants. And the reason we're going to focus on Google is because Google has roughly a 67% market share. It is without a doubt the single most important search engine. As a matter of fact, Google has even become a verb. You don't search the web anymore, you Google things. Also, generally speaking, if you follow the strategies that will get you to rank high on Google, you will also be able to rank high on the other search engines as well. So by giving Google what it wants and trying to optimize your site for Google, you're also optimizing your site for the other lesser important search engines as well. Okay, so to get started, first we need to understand exactly what Google cares about. We have to try to get in the mind of Google and understand what Google's purpose is and what their goal is. If we can understand what Google wants to do and what their goal is, we can then understand how to give them what they want to help them meet their goal, and then have them meet our goal, which is to get us to rank on page 1 in the search engine results. And fortunately, this actually isn't that hard. It's not that hard to understand what Google wants, because Google only wants one thing. They only want to be able to show people relevant results when they search for a subject. So for example, if I go over to google.com and I type in a search, let's just search for how to change oil in a car. Google only cares about presenting me with that information. It knows that I want to know how to change oil in a car because that's what I searched for. The only thing Google cares about is presenting me with a website, a video, or some good quality information that's going to teach me exactly what I'm looking for. And it doesn't matter what I'm searching for. In this example, I just searched for how to change oil in a car because that's the first thing that popped into my head. But anything that you search for, Google only cares about giving you relevant search results. And there's a reason why Google only cares about that. And that reason is because Google knows that if you don't get relevant search results, you're going to stop coming back to Google. I mean, think about it. Why does everybody use Google in the first place? Everybody uses Google because when you go to Google, you can type in what you're searching for, and you're going to get a list of websites that are relevant to what you want. Google is going to help you find what you're looking for. Well, if they don't give you relevant search results, if they don't give you a list of websites that are going to be helpful and useful to you, well, you're going to stop going there. You're going to go to another website. This is all Google cares about. They care about you continuing to use their website. They want you to keep using their search engine and not somebody else's search engine. And they know that the way they can keep people using their search engine is to keep giving good quality search results. Because of this, Google spends a massive amount of time, effort, and money to try to keep people from gaming the system. You see, everybody seems to be looking for the new way to trick Google or to con Google or to make Google think that their site is good. And that's not the way to do it, because Google is a huge multi-billion-dollar company. They've got people there that are way smarter than any of us. Google has software engineers that they pay $1 to $2 million. Literally, they have engineers that they pay $1 million+ a year for their skills. I mean, these are the best software engineers in the world. Google can afford them, and Google's not afraid to spend the money on them. And one of the main things that these engineers spend a lot of their time on is preventing people from gaming the system. So get that out of your head right from the beginning, that you're going to somehow get a plug-in, or you're going to get a system or a trick or something like that that's going to help you game Google and trick Google into ranking you high. That is not going to happen. I guarantee you it's never going to happen. The only way to get Google to give you what you want and rank you high on the search engine results is to give Google what it wants, and that's to provide decent, relevant content for people searching for keywords that you're targeting. Now, there are some myths about Google that I want to get rid of right from the door. The first one is that your domain name means something. Like if you have keywords in your domain name, then somehow Google is going to rank you higher just because you have keywords in your domain name. And that absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. The evidence shows us that that's not true. Google itself tells us that that's not true. And putting in a little bit of thought will also tell us logically that that's not true. So let's go back over to Google and I'll show you some of the evidence that proves that that's not true. Okay, so here I am. I'm back on Google and I'm going to search for the very first thing that pops into my head. And the very first thing is frogs. And the reason that I'm searching for frogs is because I'm sitting here staring at a little stuffed animal that my daughter had. That's a frog. So it's the first random thing that popped into my head. I'm just going to type in the word frogs. And what is the very first #1 search result that we see? You can see frogs actually has 63,400,000 results. But what is #1? #1 is Wikipedia. Well, I don't see the word frog in the domain name wikipedia.org at all. It's not in there. Let's see #2, defenders.org. I don't see the word frog in there. #3, kittyhouse.com. I don't see the word frog in there. #4, livescience.com. The word frog is not in there. Let's try something else. Let's try something more specific. 1993 Ford Taurus. I don't know why. That just popped into my head randomly. And what do we see right there? kellybluebook.com. Cars.com, Wikipedia again, right there. Wikipedia, you'll notice, almost always shows up high in the search engine results. None of these top results have the keywords that I'm searching for inside of the domain name. And why is that? Because the domain name doesn't mean anything. Again, as I said, you cannot game Google. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to buy a domain name that has keywords in it, and all of a sudden Google's going to rank me that high. I mean, Google's focus is to make sure that people get good quality results. And they're not that stupid to say, just because the keywords are in the domain name, that they're going to assume that that's a good site to tell people. I mean, Google puts in a little bit more effort than that. But besides the results telling us that that doesn't matter, and besides the fact that logic tells us that that doesn't matter, Google actually tells us that that doesn't matter. Here's actually Matt Cutts. He's one of Google's software engineers, and he flat out says that keywords in your domain name don't mean anything. Okay, myth #2. 50 billion backlinks will get you high search engine results. If you have so many thousands and millions and billions of backlinks, all of a sudden you're going to get high search engine results. And this is actually a myth that's based on something that's a little bit true about Google. You see, one of the things that Google looks for is backlinks to your website. Google naturally assumes that when other websites link to your website, that must mean that your website is relevant, that it's a good quality website. So the way Google sees it is kind of like a voting system, where every time a website links to your website, they are in essence voting for your website. They're saying, hey, look, this is worth looking at. And that actually makes sense, because if it wasn't worth looking at, other websites probably wouldn't link to it. So Google counts backlinks as votes for your website, but they don't have the importance that they used to have. You see, a while back, that was one of the major factors. Now it's just one of over 200 factors that Google considers when deciding to rank a website. Also, all backlinks are not created equal. They have to actually be good quality backlinks. So you really can't just go out there and get, a billion backlinks and think all of a sudden that you're doing SEO and you're going to get ranked high on Google. People and vendors like to say that all the time because they like to create software that gets you a whole bunch of worthless backlinks and say, hey, look, you're going to be able to rank on Google if you buy this software that gets you a whole bunch of worthless backlinks. And then people that don't know better say, oh, great, I'm going to buy this software. And then, of course, nothing ever happens. But be assured, why backlinks are good for you and backlinks are good for your site, having 50 billion poor quality backlinks is not going to help you at all. So you might be asking yourself then, well, how do I get backlinks, Brett? Well, there's a real simple way. You earn them. You get good quality backlinks by earning them. You make people want to link to your site by posting good content and get backlinks exactly the way Google wants to see them. Okay, number 3. I actually wrote this one wrong. It says you don't need some crazy SEO plugin. That's actually the answer. That's not the myth. The answer is you don't need some crazy SEO plugin. Like I said, IM vendors love to create these crazy SEO plugins that are going to trick Google. Again, like I said, Google is smarter than all of us. Google has the money to hire the best software engineers in the world. You're not going to trick them. Forget about it. Stop thinking about it. You don't need some crazy SEO software plugin, whatever, 50 billion backlink. It's just a waste of your money. Just don't even buy them. The number 4 myth is probably the absolutely most important myth, and it's one that people have the hardest time accepting. It's not going to require any work. You see, everybody wants instant results. Everybody wants to press a button and get instant results. Well, that's not the way the world works. I want a lot of things that I'll never get. That is just not the way it works. You're not going to press a button and instantly rank in Google. I don't care what software you buy. I don't care what plugin you buy. I don't care what video ranker you buy. Things may help you a little bit, but you're never going to get instant results at all. There's only one way to get ranked in Google, and that is to give what Google wants. And what Google wants is to see that your site has content that's going to be valuable to the people that it sends to your site. You have to understand, like I said, Google is basically doing kind of like what affiliate marketers do. For example, I send people to my website, and then either I suggest or I don't suggest that they buy a software. But if I suggest that they buy the software, then they go and they buy the software. Well, if I keep sending people to buy junky software and junky products, eventually they're going to say to me, Brett, I'm sick of you. You keep sending me junky stuff here. I can't trust you anymore. I'm not coming back to your site. I'm not buying through you anymore. It's the same thing with Google. When Google sends people to a search engine results and they get a list of websites that they have to check out, if Google keeps giving people irrelevant websites and sends people to sites that are no good, eventually people are going to say, you know what, I'm sick of Google. It's the worst search engine in the world. I'm not coming back here anymore. And they'll start going to Bing or Yahoo or somewhere else. So regardless of what you would like, the fact of the matter is that you are going to have to put in work. You're going to have to put in work to create good quality content on your site. That is the number one thing. Content was king 10 years ago, and content is king right now.